Glad you're here tonight. We're kind of a small crowd, but we're going to be a mighty crowd tonight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Most everybody here, I think, knows the drill. Coffee's back here, water's back here, soda's back here, hot tea's back here, hot chocolate's back here, cake's back here, crackers and cheese are back here, and nothing healthy. We do work on donations, as I say every week. If you can drop something in the box, great. If not, we're not going to worry about it. We'll survive. We've done this for 24 plus years, and we're still going strong. So, the box that is important though is the one that's the treasure chest right here. I got to turn it back around because it does say artist donation on it. That's the one I do encourage you to put something in because that goes to our artists to help them and help us keep the music alive here in the Triangle. That's my usual spiel. I'm not going to go into the whole thing because I know you want to hear Robert play it tonight.
Yes.
Now, are you saying, yeah, you want to hear him play, or yeah, you want me to shut up?
Well, take it however you want.
We'd like to hear you talk too. You know.
Robert's been here many, many times. He was our pianist and choir director here at St. Paul, and we missed him,
Miss you too.
so we've got him back here instead.
You may come back.
I'm not sure exactly what all he's going to play tonight because we really didn't talk about it like
Me
I
neither.
usually do. He just said he's not sure either.
We'll
So
figure
this
it out.
really should be good tonight. Anyway, his repertoire covers pretty much all genres of music. Kind of goes everywhere.
No rap though.
Huh?
I can't rap, I'm sorry.
Well, it's hard to rap on a keyboard.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
But he'll go classical, probably throw some gospel in there tonight, may throw a country in there tonight. Who knows what else? But ladies and gentlemen, welcome Robert Buxton.
Thank you, Richard. It's great to be back at St. Paul at Sacred Grounds. Thank you, Phil, Marianne, everybody who makes this all work. And the first rule is you've got to eat. That's my Russian mother who's been here before and brought food here. You know, that's her motto, is eat. So before we get to the real, well, this I guess is part of the real program. How about, I'd like to do this improvisation game thing, you know, and if I ask you, could you give me a couple random notes, just shout out notes? Oh, that's good, but any letters? Oh yeah, sorry. No, but that was good. C and then
E.
E, anybody?
B flat.
What did you say?
B flat.
Oh, and then you said,
G.
okay, let's do that. You wanted an A there? You wanted an
I said H, I was being funny.
A? You said, oh, H, H is,
I don't think there is an H.
in German there is, it's big.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna add in that H. Yeah, okay, very good, very good. Okay, let me remember that. That's an odd one, I like it. All right, I'm gonna make up something somehow using that. Wait, does this, there. Okay. All right. giving me that interesting tune, and the H is what really made it. Really made it. So I'm going to start now. I think I'm going to alternate between gospel and classical tonight because I know sometimes people, if they have to leave early, they'll tell me I didn't hear any gospel and why. So now I'll mix it up like the milk, half and half, half and half. So I'm going to start with classical though. I want to play a piece by Felix Mendelssohn. Auf Flügeln des Gesanges. It's not great pronunciation. It means on wings of song. And it's a song for voice. And I'm sorry that I don't sing. And I don't sing in German, so especially that. So this is Liszt's adaptation, arrangement of it for piano solo. So Mendelssohn was a child prodigy. He was born in 1809. I've read he was more of a prodigy than Mozart even, if you can believe it. A true prodigy, though, is someone who at a very early age, they have maturity beyond their years. So Yehudi Menuhin, the violinist, when he would play at the age of 8 or 9, he would bring you to tears because he had an adult's soul. It's more than just technique. That's what Mendelssohn had. And it goes along with something that he had this character, like he was a very genuine person and a very kind person. And when I play this piece, I feel that. I feel like he's just talking through the music. He's very, I didn't know him personally, but you almost feel like you do. Here's a story about Mendelssohn and his humility. So starting with Liszt, Liszt was the first to do concerts from memory. And now that's the standard. But before that, and Mendelssohn was a little bit before Liszt, before that nobody played from memory in a concert. And if you did, you were considered a show-off and a sort of a jerk, to do that. You shouldn't do that. Mendelssohn naturally memorized everything he played. But because he didn't want to offend people, he would put sheet music up for something completely different that he wasn't playing. He would just have it there. So people would, wouldn't think. That's the kind of person he was. Here is the piece, Auf Flügeln des Gesanges, Mendelssohn, arranged by Liszt. You hear it okay? Is it?
Yes.
It's not too loud, not too soft?
No, it's
Okay. All right, very good. Just want to be sure. I was doing something silly earlier today to prove that music is really all the same, whether it's classical, gospel, country. That melody. You could make it something else. You could do like. I just thought it was funny. So speaking of that, I'm going to do now, here's a gospel tune that I love very much. I need this cheat sheet because I forget the names of the people who write them sometimes. So this is a famous, it's an old hymn, Just As I Am. And the story behind it, where's Just As I Am? There it is. Charlotte Elliott wrote it, and she wrote it in 1835. It's pretty old. It's around the Mendelssohn's times too. She had trouble sleeping. She was kept awake by nervous, anxious thoughts. Maybe some of us can relate to that. And one night, she was praying for peace, and the phrase, just as I am, just came to her. And isn't that something? And then she wrote this. So I'm going to play this in the style. I've been on sort of a Willie Nelson kick. I always am. So I'm going to talk about him a lot too. He's one of my favorite musicians, and just love him. And he does this. He did this on his album, Red-Headed Stranger. So, and in other albums too, with a little Texas flavor into it. And I lived in Texas for a while. That's where my wife and I met. So. Some of Robert Schumann's arrangements of Paganini. So I love arrangements. Playing gospel on the piano, it's like arranging because I don't sing. Because I like to pretend to be stuff that I'm not, like a gospel singer. Like try to pretend to be Kent Dixon we were talking about, with his voice. I'll tell you a story about Kent actually. We play together a lot. And Kent called me after a gospel gig I did at Mount Sylvan. He said, with this, I can't really even imitate him. He has this deep voice. He said, Robert, I can hear your southern country upbringing in every note you play. And I said, Kent, I'm so sorry to tell you I grew up in New Jersey. But my dad is from the South, so you know. But anyway, so Schumann took Paganini's violin music, his solo violin caprices, and he wrote them for piano, because Paganini was all the rage at that time. Actually, you either hated him or you loved him. There was no in between. Think of in the 1950s, like Little Richard or Elvis. You know, you either loved them or you hated them. Paganini was like that. Paganini was this wild man, really like a rock star. You know, he was like a rock star. And the Romantics, who were born later, 1809, 10, 11, you know, they just admired Paganini. They wanted to do what he did. And what many of these guys did is they wrote piano music or other things based off of Paganini. Schumann, that was some of the first major projects he did was to arrange Paganini for the piano. They're not played that much, actually. It's interesting. But I think he found his style or himself through imitation. That's a good way to learn, is to imitate. The first set that he wrote, the pieces are pretty close to the original Paganini's. In the second set, I'm going to play several of the second set Schumann did. He's a little more, takes more liberty with it. It's a little bit more of himself. Think of translating a book from one language to another, or a poem or something. You can either try to do the Google Translate way and just word for word, or you can embellish a bit. That's kind of what's going on here. So this first one sounds a lot like the Mendelssohn. Same key, the A flat. I mean, it sounds, here's the Mendelssohn, and here's Paganini. Chopin wrote an etude, the Aeolian
You
harp.
can do that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah, this.
And then you had me copyright.
Doesn't that sound, they all sound the same. What are they, plagiarizing each other or something? They didn't have copyright law back
Oh,
then.
oh, that's-
But the real reason is that, look, they all breathed Chopin, Paganini, Schumann. They all lived at the same time. They breathed the same air. So similar things, you know, it's unconscious maybe. But I don't know, maybe not. Maybe they were plagiarizing. Here's the first of these Paganini, Schumann studies I'm going to do. of these, and it's interesting because they're based on solo violin, unaccompanied violin pieces. The next one is downright creepy. It's good for Halloween. I don't know a lot of Halloween music that's classical, but this is. You know, when I play this, this is the image I have. I imagine I'm in some, you know, damp cathedral in Tuscany or something, but it's nighttime, it's scary. You know, something might jump out from the wall behind you. Liszt arranged this too, and I want to show you how Liszt arranges it and then how Schumann does it. It's completely different. This is the Liszt version. You know, this is dumb. I tell dad jokes because I'm a dad, so if you're a classical musician, you go to Walmart, you make sure you bring your Chopin lists. Yeah, shopping list. It's so bad that it's good. But that's how Liszt did the Paganini. But here's how Schumann does it. Same piece, but isn't it so different? The way it's just like a whole different. I think the Schumann's a little creepier. It's a little emptier. It's a little. So I'm supposed to play something next week. They asked for Halloween music, and I'll put that in there because it sort of works, I guess. So
You look up to the church?
oh, it's another place.
Oh,
It's not out of the church yet. wild. It's just real. And Schumann himself, I didn't talk much about him. He had bipolar disorder probably. He was struggled with mental illness throughout his life. And this piece it's sort of on the manic side. It's just really wild. So another Paganini, Schumann, and then some gospel, as this is a set here. Here's some gospel. I'm going to play this is an old spiritual called We Are Climbing Jacob's Ladder. Many great recordings of it. I love how Paul Robeson does it. So. time because, all right, good, yeah. So classical now, here's Rachmaninoff. This is something I've been working on the whole piece, but I'm just gonna play you part of this from the Paganini Rhapsody. So there's that Paganini connection again. And Rachmaninoff wrote the Rhapsody on the theme of Paganini in the 1930s, long after he'd left Russia for good. He left when the communist revolution happened in 1917. For a while, he had trouble composing because he was just so homesick. He lived here in the US. He loved the US, but he missed Russia. And then in the 30s, his compositional creativity just came roaring back. And he wrote all these pieces, but the style was different from the earlier things. It was a little more dry, a little sharper, a little jazzier sometimes, because he was influenced by living in the US. Well, this he wrote at his summer home on Lake Lucerne in Switzerland. Well, that's not too shabby. He did well for himself. He did very well performing, traveling. But he still had that homesickness, and to me, this variation is like a dream of returning home. We all have that, because even if you didn't have to leave Russia to never go back, my mom did, but even if you didn't have that experience, we all don't feel, the home is not really a place, it's a time. So we're all kind of lost to it in a way. And here's what he did with this variation, it's pretty brilliant. The Paganini, the 24th Caprice by Paganini goes like this. It's a famous theme. In the 18th variation, he flips it upside down. If you do that, if you take the sheet music and you turn it upside down, you get this. And then the rest. So I hear there's lots of movies with this. Someone told me The Notebook uses, I've never seen it.
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day uses that? How come I never noticed that?
The scene when he's playing the piano at the
Uh-huh.
party at the beginning, he starts with that.
Wow. So there's
He goes
another.
into a jazz.
Okay. I'd say it, I'm just kind of mind blown because I know there's a movie called, yeah, thanks for telling me. There's another movie called Somewhere in Time, which I haven't seen, Christopher Reeve, that uses it. Of course, a movie called Somewhere in Time, about being lost in time, literally. That would make sense for Rachmaninoff because he kind of was. So here's the piece, yeah, just like Groundhog Day.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another gospel, another Willie Nelson, Family Bible. That's just like that Rachmaninoff, because it's a song about home, about remembering home. So, I wish I could sing it, but I can't. I could try to imitate Willie Nelson, you know. This page is born and I can't do these voices. But, all right, yeah. Sprightlier piece. I'll close the first set with a little more fireworks, and then the second half is going to be a lot more of it, you know, the wilder things. Here's Fritz Kreisler, Tambourin Chinois, Chinese drum. Kreisler was from Vienna. This is another violin piece adapted for the piano. And he wrote this when he traveled through San Francisco in 1910. He heard Chinese classical music, and he was influenced by it. So this is a hybrid of Chinese music and Viennese music. And Kreisler, you don't get more Vienna than Kreisler, than Wiener Schnitzel, Strauss Waltz. That's just Vienna. And here, the thing is that Kreisler, I don't know, I try to imagine his pictures. He was a thin guy with a mustache. He was always smiling. He was very warm and friendly. And he was big friends with Rachmaninoff, who Rachmaninoff was very tall, very Russian, shaved head, never smiled, a little bit intimidating. Someone said he looked like a convict on the loose. And they played together, but Kreisler didn't like to practice. I may have told you this story. I played some other Kreisler in the past here, not this piece, I don't think. So here's the true story. Kreisler didn't like to practice. He was playing with Rachmaninoff in Carnegie Hall, and Kreisler messed up. Rachmaninoff's still playing. And he walks over while the concert's going on, and he whispers to him, "Where are we?" And Rachmaninoff just growled at him, "Carnegie Hall." So This, yeah, I love this. This piece is like bubbly, it's just, because Chrysler he had a sense of humor. Not a lot of these classical guys did, but he did, so. Okay, now I'm going to do The Lily of the Valley in an old-timey style, written by Charles William Fry. He's part of the Salvation Army, and he wrote the text, and the words are by Ira Sankey. It's an arrangement of a tune that's not a gospel tune, The Little Old Log Cabin in the Lane. That's by Will Hayes. That's what the music is. But the words, of course, are by Charles William Fry. So here it is. I'm going to do this in a very country gospel style, the kind of music my dad likes. I like it too. pick up from there. Thank you. More of that kind of stuff's gonna come up later, so, yeah.
Do you happen to know Stephen Armstrong? He's a pianist. Actually, our church. He's got his doctorate also. Professor Sullivan.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
He's very good. He's much younger.
Okay, all right.
Very young.